Brake flush service. Wynn's brake flush service utilizes the Wynn's BrakeTech Rapid Brake Fluid Exchange Machine, which provides a combination of pressure and vacuum bleeding and simultaneously bleeds all 4 wheels using Wynn's DOT3 or DOT4 brake fluid. The machine is first prepared by attaching the pickup tube float level switch to the machine into a new container of Wynn's brake fluid. With an empty container in place to collect the used fluid from the vehicle. Then the machine's power cord is attached to the vehicle's battery to provide 12-volt power. The fluid gun is attached to the red service hose. The machine's 3-way switch is moved to the vacuum position, and after the master cylinder reservoir cap is removed, the fluid gun is used to evacuate the used brake fluid into the onboard used fluid container. The appropriate master cylinder adapter is then securely attached to the master cylinder, and the black service hose is coupled to the adapter. With the machine's pressure valve fully counterclockwise, the machine's 3-way switch is then moved to the service position to pressurize the master cylinder with new brake fluid. The underside of the vehicle is then accessed, and the 4 individual bleed hoses are pulled from the machine and attached to the bleed screws at each wheel cylinder. The toggle switches for each wheel cylinder are then opened to provide vacuum at each of the bleed screws, resulting in old brake fluid being evacuated from each wheel cylinder, while new fluid is being delivered under pressure to the master cylinder. If necessary, the machine's pressure valve may be turned clockwise to increase pressure to assure appropriate fluid flow at each bleed location. The used fluid will be delivered into the machine's onboard container. As each bleed hose sequentially shows new fluid, indicating the completion of the bleed process, the bleed screw is closed. Then the corresponding toggle switch is also closed. The service completion light will illuminate when the new brake fluid container is nearly empty. All bleed screws should be closed by this point. The bleed hoses are then detached from each bleed screw and reinserted into the machine. The master cylinder adapter is then removed and the master cylinder brought to its proper level by using the machine in the appropriate service and fluid gun to either add more fluid or evacuate fluid. The master cylinder reservoir cap is then replaced to complete the service. Road test the vehicle to verify proper brake pedal feel before returning the vehicle to the customer. The brake flush service is now complete and the vehicle will be free of brake fluid concerns.